What's up, morons? I'm Ronny Chieng.
And I'm Jordan Klepper. This is Sports War, the show where we are legally not allowed to agree with each other.
So if I say we need stronger helmets in football to prevent concussions...
I say, that. We were bored with a helmet. It's called a skull.
Well, lucky for us, yours is empty. It's October, 1 month where practically every league is going at it like some kind of sports gangbang.
That's right. There's more balls flying around than that time Ronnie wore his Daisy Dukes to the office.
Well, that's on you for looking.
And nowhere is the sports gang-paying hotter right now than here in New York. Between the Liberty, the Mets, the Yankees, the Knicks, this city could only be happier if Ronnie announced he was leaving it.
Well, if I ever leave, it's because your mom is getting too clingy.
Nice one, Ronnie. I hope you get circumcised in your sleep. And while many New York sports fans are celebrating, there's one team showing us that Boeing ain't the only one with imploding jets.
Now to breaking news in sports. The Jets have fired their head coach, Robert Saleh, just 5 games into the season, a move that comes 2 days after they just lost in London in disappointing fashion.
There is rampant speculation that Aaron Rodgers is behind the firing of Saleh.
Jets, suck. Oh, man. What a terrible move by the Jets. Coach Saleh wasn't the problem. It's clearly Aaron Rodgers. That's like me firing the camera guy for the stupid shit that comes out of Ronnie's mouth.
Yeah, well, your mouth looks like a fish vagina. And you couldn't be more wrong, okay? Firing Saleh is exactly what the Jets need. For 55 years, they've sucked with a coach. Hey, maybe it's time to play without one. Just one season raw dogging it without a coach, and hey, maybe the Jets will win the Super Bowl.
The only thing getting raw dogged is your brain. You can't let a bunch of NFL players coach themselves. They need Google Maps just to get out of the huddle. But we all know there's only one, maybe 2 people crazy enough to take a job coaching the Jets. Which brings us to our Jordan Klepper locked and loaded triple VIP bet of the night. Which Menendez brother will be the next coach of the Jets? As always, brought to you by gambling. Gambling. If you think you have a problem, stop thinking.
Moving on from an upset man to the upset of the year.
Next, a once-in-a-lifetime upset in college football. Vanderbilt beat #1 Alabama on Saturday 40-35. Vanderbilt students were so excited they tore down one of the goalposts and carried it a couple of miles into downtown Nashville. Then they tossed it into the Cumberland River.
Okay. Rein it in, you private school nerds. Winning is exciting, but show a little class. You don't gloat in front of the other team's fans. You bully them online like a normal person.
Okay, Jordan, I know you're not used to winning, but this is what it looks like, okay? You're just mad they threw the goalpost in the river because you empathize with long, skinny, useless things. Which brings us to our Ronny Chieng show win VVIP bet of the night. Which river will we dump Jordan in after tonight's show? As always, brought to you by gambling. Gambling. Your wife can't leave you if you win.
And finally, moving on to a more somber story as we honor the passing of one of America's greatest heroes.
Pete Rose, Major League Baseball's all-time hits leader who was famously banned from the sport for gambling, has died.
Rose was famously banned from the Baseball Hall of Fame for gambling allegations. He denied those allegations for years before eventually admitting that he did bet on baseball, both as a player and as a manager.
All while he lobbied to be considered for the Hall of Fame, his lifelong wish never granted.
Now, I don't want to discount what Jackie Robinson did, but what Pete Rose accomplished was a billion times more important. He's a legend in 2 of America's pastimes, gambling as a player and gambling as a coach. Pete Rose definitely belongs in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay, Jordan, have you been hit in your oblong head by another pitch? Okay, Pete Rose doesn't belong in the Baseball Hall of Fame. A hero like him belongs in every Hall of Fame. Baseball, basketball, rock and roll, hip-hop, automotive, hobbies. Put his name on a Vietnam memorial, everywhere. Yo, they should hang his bookie's phone number from the rafters.
Boy, Ronnie, I really wish God took you instead of Pete Rose. Which brings us to my Jordan's Champagne Room Boom Bet of the Night. What will Pete Rose gamble on first in heaven? As always, brought to you by gambling. Gambling, when it stops being fun, is when it gets good.
All right, and that's all the stories this week. Join us next time on Sports War.
Yeah, we'll debate if it counts as cheating on your wife if you do it with a tackling dummy.
Well, obviously not.
Wait, do we agree on this one?
Wait, no, we can't agree.
I would.
No.